from my cold, dead hands.
Hey guys, this is Eric, host of the Handgun Podcast, here with another YouTube video. Today we're going to go over my thoughts on wheel guns, revolvers, because this is a video I promised JL Grant on YouTube well over a month ago, so I'm a little far behind. Now before we get started, keep in mind that we did post the 4 safety rules. I'm going to have to violate those to show you that this firearm is clear, okay? I'm conscious of where the weapon is being pointed, I'm just letting you know now. But to show you that it's empty, I have to kind of have the barrel pointed that direction. And I pardon any weird looks or anything. It's very difficult for me to make sure that the firearm is positioned so that the camera can see it while I'm looking at the firearm. I feel like I should be looking at the camera. It's just kind of hard for me to get used to. Okay, so first order of business. Whenever you're dealing with a firearm or a revolver, don't do the Hollywood flip to put it back in, okay? You can actually damage this little piece right here called the crane, all right? It's about the only thing you can do to damage a revolver. Whenever you put that in, just go ahead and support it with your hands and put it in the normal way, okay? From there, it's perfectly stable. I believe most revolvers lock up at 3 points. It might only be 2. I know the Ruger locks up at 3. This is a Ruger SP101. It has a double action pull, and it can also be single action. Double action, for those who don't know, is when you pull the trigger and the hammer goes back like this, okay? That double action is cocking and releasing, whereas single action is now the trigger only performs a single action. It drops the hammer. Okay? The double action pull on this is about 12 pounds of pressure. I've taken several people out shooting, and 3 of the females I've taken out shooting have had problems with that double action pull. I say this because anytime a girl goes into a gun store, the first thing they recommend is a snub-nosed revolver. Not always. Some of the girls were shaking. They were pulling so hard on the trigger. Some of them keep pulling it, and they're angling up. If you're at an indoor range, you're going to put one in the ceiling, maybe bust a light. If you're at an outdoor range, you're going to shoot over the safety berm. And the 4th rule is know your target and what's behind it. Well, if your target is here, but you're pointing there, it's not good. So, something to keep in mind. The other thing is for a concealed carry gun, which is how I carry 99.5% of the time, I don't want that hammer on there. See, that's something that can snag and get caught up. If you're a lady, carrying in your purse. If you're a gentleman, carrying underneath a shirt. I want something smooth. So what you want would be like a spurless hammer, something where that curved area there wouldn't have anything protruding to snag. You want something snag-free. A design like the Smith & Wesson 642 or 442 has that completely covered. The hammer's completely concealed. I like that design a lot. The other thing I like about that design is that it's a double action only. You can only do the long heavy trigger pull. This is not an option. The good thing about that is because this is only about 3 pounds of pressure. And for a self-defense gun, now real quickly, let me say, God forbid you ever have to use something like this in a self-defense scenario. We wear our seatbelts, but we don't want to get in accidents, right? Right. If you have to use it like this, your adrenaline's going to be going, you're going to be jittery, blood's going to be flowing away from your extremities and into your core. The last thing I need is a hair trigger, an accident, and an oops. And that's exactly what a prosecutor may be able to say. If you have a double action only gun, it removes that likelihood. It removes that possibility for a legal attack after the fact. So I really do like the revolvers. The other thing I like about these, real quickly before I get onto that, let me show you the one problem. They're a difficult gun to shoot well, okay? You see that sight radius? It's inches, all right? It's not very long, meaning any little movement like that throws off where you actually are by feet downrange, okay? The short sight radius and that heavy trigger pull make the snub nose a very difficult gun to shoot well, all right? Now, there's still a place for it, even though this one's only 5 shots. And I'm going to demonstrate that real quickly here. My usual carry gun is 1911. I'm going to show you that it's empty. You can see the chamber is empty, okay? Don't do this at home. I'm only doing this after triple checking this gun because I want to demonstrate something. Most self-defense shootings occur within about 10 feet. At 21 feet, an attacker can reach you and physically touch you before you can draw and fire for self-protection. You need to realize how close these things happen. God forbid you're in that instance. If you're right up against somebody, you can press this out of battery. You can see that right there. You see how it's not lined up? If that happens because you're pressing into the belly of your attacker, nothing! That's what getting pressed out of battery is. And it disables a semi-auto gun. Whereas a revolver, and just for safety's sake, because I'm paranoid, I'll show you again, that is empty, cannot get pressed out of battery. Okay? That's going to keep working. God, I don't even like doing that, even though I know the gun's empty. Follow the safety rules. You won't have a negligent discharge. Okay? So those are my thoughts on the wheel gun. Heavy double action pull, but it is timeless. This is absolutely a great gun for backup or for concealed carry, or if you're wearing summer clothing and you just can't conceal a full-size firearm or feel like you can't. I don't feel undergunned with a gun like this on me. Having said that, it is still my backup because it is absolutely sturdy, reliable, and just a great little package. This particular one is a Ruger SP-101. The gray on there is a target gray finish along with the wood stocks. It was part of a limited edition from Lipsy's, which is why this one doesn't act as my carry gun. This is one that I'll shoot every now and then, and I like it because it's pretty, but because it's a limited edition with that spurred hammer, doesn't make its way into my carry repertoire. I would recommend a Smith & Wesson 642 or a 442. I hate their numbering convention, but they make great little guns. Or the new Ruger LCR. I'm looking at picking one of those up in the near future. Again, don't bother with a spurred hammer for a carry gun. It's just my opinion. I've been wrong before. I'm just going to share that with you. They're great little guns. And I had more thoughts, but I'm spacing now because I didn't write down notes and I'm doing this freedom of thought, spur of consciousness, whatever. So anyhow, you guys stay safe. And hope you enjoy the video, answered some questions for you. We'll see you next time.